Hi, I was a teacher for the past 8 years. Yeah, so I came from the education industry. So during that time, I really valued my time in teaching. I enjoyed working with students and understanding how they learn. So through my work, I also had the chance to do a lot of education and career guidance work, which led me to see how my students were exploring areas like computing and tech, which gave me some exposure to the digital space. And that was when I find myself being curious about how vulnerabilities happen and why people still fall into scams. So I started to explore the cybersecurity industry. And while searching for learning options, CSCI really stood out because I was looking for something not just purely theoretical, but also hands-on. So I signed up for the taster session, and that really confirmed it for me. No, I have not. So everything was very new and very exciting for me. From setting up my own virtual machines to typing in a command prompt, and then eventually progressing to having my own ELK stack in the cloud. It was a very exciting experience. Yeah, but of course, sometimes there were challenges, but what really helped was to be willing to learn from scratch. It was definitely not easy. I had to take a planned break because we were shifting house and then my kids were changing school. So balancing learning with family responsibility, I guess, took a lot of discipline. There was a time during the course where I feel that there was so much I didn't know about cyber, and I really thought of whether this was really in for me. But what helped was to keep reminding myself that, as long as I keep learning, I keep staying consistent and be curious, that I will improve bit by bit every day. There wasn't this one aha moment that it clicked, but it was more of getting into a routine of doing notes after each lesson and then attending all the cyber labs or the lab tests consistently. And eventually, I find myself being able to follow the lessons, to ask thoughtful questions that are relevant. So there isn't this one exact moment, but more like small successes along the way, like doing well for the Siberian test, and then eventually building my own cyber project, and then feeling accomplished along the way. At the start, I thought that I really want to go all technical to make the switch. So I focused a lot on building these skills. But along the way, I started to realize that maybe my background in teaching was still relevant. So I feel that cybersecurity isn't just technical, it's also about the people, how they think, how they make decisions. And that's where I started to see how the both sides can come together. I would tell them that it's easy to feel that you're not ready, or perhaps you do not have the necessary background or skills. But honestly, you don't need to have everything figured out before you start. If you enjoy problem solving, you are willing to learn and stay consistent, you will definitely pick things up along the way. So before enrollment, I think I really thought about whether this was really for me. But now having gone through everything and seeing how dedicated the instructors are and how the learning was so, how the instructors really taught like so meticulously and make the learning so easy for us, I will tell myself to not overthink, because the first step is always the hardest, but then things will become clearer as we go ahead.